Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer, and today we're going to be talking about the Shaman class changes for patch 7.0. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to rate it thumbs up. The fantasy of Shaman in World of Warcraft dates back thousands of years to primitive cultures of Azeroth and Draenor. Spiritual leaders used mystical totems and ancient rituals to commune with the elements of nature. In doing so, they found a world of untamed chaos, primal fury locked in an unending battle. Shamans became the guardians of the elemental plane, using totems to summon and focus the elements, bringing a fragile balance to the volatile energies which, without intervention, could very well have consumed the physical realm. In doing so, Shaman gained favor with the elements, accessing the raw power of earth, air, fire, and water, and harnessing them to heal their allies and take down their enemies. These techniques and traditions have since been passed down from generation to generation to those possessing extraordinary attunement with the elements. And along with the power of the elements also came the responsibility of ensuring their balance. The biggest change for all specs of Shaman is that totems no longer belong to specific schools, and there's no limit on how many you can have from each school out at any given time. So this means that you're no longer going to override your Healing Tide totem with the Accidental Healing Stream totem. Many totems have been removed from the baseline kit, including Capacitor Totem, Earthbind Totem, Grounding Totem, Searing Totem, and Tremor Totem. Totemic Projection is no longer available for all totems, but targeting reticles will appear by default for certain totems that require specific positioning, such as Earthquake Totem. Shamanistic Rage has been removed for all specs of Shaman and has been replaced by Astral Shift as a baseline defensive cooldown. Ascendance is no longer part of the baseline kit, but will be available as a talent to all three specs. Elemental Shaman are completely in tune with and able to draw power from the world around them. They channel the volatile energies of the elemental plane to wield bolts of lightning, molten lava, bursts of fire and frost, and even to manipulate the land beneath the feet of their enemies. They are able to summon physical spirits of powerful elements to aid them in battle. The term force of nature is completely accurate and appropriate to use for an elemental shaman. One of the biggest changes in 7.0 for Elemental Shaman is the addition of a new secondary resource called Maelstrom. Maelstrom features a build and spend mechanic. Some spells, like Lightning Bolt, have been updated to generate Maelstrom. Shocks, on the other hand, spend Maelstrom, and since they now compete for that resource, they no longer have a cooldown. Earth Shock will be your big spender, dealing more damage with more Maelstrom spent. Enhancement Shamans will no longer have access to Shocks, and Elementals are exclusive to Elemental Shaman. Earth and Fire Elementals will no longer be tied to totems, but their overall functionality is pretty much the same. In 7.0, Elemental Shaman's Mastery will be reverted from Molten Earth back to Elemental Overload. Elemental Overload gives your Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, and Lava Burst cast a 16% chance to trigger a second cast on the same target for 75% of the normal damage and Maelstrom generation. For fans of the Draenor Mastery, Molten Earth, in 7.0 there will be a talent called Earthen Rage, which basically does the same thing. The artifact weapon for Elemental Shaman and Legion is the Fist of Ra-Den. Enhancement Shamans share a similar bond to the elements as their elemental spec brothers. What sets them apart is their combat style. Rather than harnessing the energies of the elemental planes to blast down their enemies from afar, Enhancement Shaman prefer front-line combat. They empower their physical attacks with elemental magic, wield weapons saturated in elemental power, and summon potent elemental totems to gain the leverage needed to emerge victorious in any battle. Like Elemental, Enhancement Shaman will also utilize the new resource Maelstrom. But for Enhancement, Maelstrom will serve as their primary resource and Mana as their secondary. This means that nearly all of the abilities in your core kit will either generate or spend Maelstrom. Maelstrom weapon has been reworked in 7.0. It now causes your auto attacks and Wind Fury attacks to generate 5 Maelstrom. Rockbiter is a new ability for Enhancement Shamans which deals 135% attack power as nature damage and generates 15 Maelstrom. Enhancement Mastery has been reworked for patch 7.0. Enhanced Elements will now increase your chance to trigger Stormbringer and Wind Fury by 1% and increase all fire, frost, and nature damage you deal by 16%. Wind Fury has been tweaked a bit. Now each of your main hand attacks has a 5% chance to trigger 2 extra attacks, dealing 80% physical damage with each. Stormbringer is a new passive that gives each of your main hand attacks a 5% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Storm Strike and cause your next Storm Strike to cost 50% less Maelstrom and trigger no cooldown. Storm Strike is one of your main Maelstrom spenders. It costs 40 Maelstrom and has a 16-second cooldown and deals a huge amount of physical damage to your target. Since Enhancement Shamans can no longer use shocks, Frost Shock has now been replaced by Frost Brand. Frost Brand deals frost damage to your target and enhances your weapons with frost for 16 seconds, causing each weapon attack to reduce your target's movement speed by 50% for 3 seconds. Another weapon enhancement available in 7.0 is Flame Tongue, which has been reworked since Warlords of Draenor. One last thing worth mentioning about Enhancement Shamans is their new ability called Stormlash. While the Shaman's weapons are enhanced, their attacks have a chance to grant the Stormlash buff on up to 2 party or raid members for 8 seconds. This causes their attacks and spellcasts to deal additional nature damage. Enhancement Shaman in Legion will wield the artifact known as Doomhammer. While Restoration Shamans are fluent in the use of nature's many elements, it is the purifying water that they are drawn to the most. Their connection with the spirits of the water are so strong that they're able to heal afflictions and restore life. And their gameplay is already pretty spot on with the lore, so they'll be seeing the least changes out of all 3 specs of Shaman. In fact, after doing class change videos for every single class and every single spec, I actually think they're seeing the least changes out of anything in the entire game. I'm not kidding. As far as the base kit for Resto Shaman, Earth Shield is now a PvP talent, making it inaccessible in PvE gameplay. Water Shield has been removed too. If you're having trouble with mana, there's a talent called Bottomless Depths that automatically triggers Resurgence after you heal a target below 60% HP. To make leveling a little bit easier for Resto Shaman in Legion, Resto Shaman can now receive Lava Surge procs, and the damage of Flame Shock, Lava Burst, Lightning Bolt, and Chain Lightning have been increased significantly. Other than that, the only real changes we'll be seeing is in our talents, which are mostly either passive or abilities that we're already familiar with. But a couple talents that stood out to me were as follows. Gust of Wind has a 15-second cooldown, and on use, it hurls you forward. That sounds pretty fun. Wellspring costs 35% of base mana, has a 20-second cooldown, and heals all friendly targets in a wide arc in front of you for 300% spell power. Basically, this is a really soggy, oh crap button. And probably the most interesting talent in our tree is the Ancestral Protection Totem, which costs 11% base mana and has a 5-minute cooldown. This totem lasts 30 seconds, and while summoned, all allies within 20 yards gain 10% health. If an ally dies, the totem is consumed to reincarnate them for 20% health and mana. Ancestral Protection Totem cannot reincarnate an ally who died to massive damage. Massive damage is defined as a blow that deals twice the player's HP. This does not count as a battle res. Restoration Shaman's artifact in Legion is the Scepter of Ajara. To summarize everything that we just talked about, Elemental Shamans are going back to the good old Mist of Pandaria mastery that everybody likes so much. They're going to have exclusive access to shocks. I mean, if you consider the 2 damage specs, because I guess Resto can use them, but that's not their thing, let's be honest. Also, Elemental Shamans are going to be the only ones who can summon those big elemental guys to help them out in battle. Both Elemental and Enhancement Shamans are going to use Maelstrom, which is a new resource with a build and spend mechanic. Enhancement Shamans are going to be more battle magey, doing elemental attacks, but on the front line and with melee abilities. Resto Shamans are not changing at all. It's almost comical. That's all. That's it. I didn't wear makeup because elements and natural, and no, it's really just like really late. I've been so busy and I just didn't have the energy to put it on, the effort. I just didn't want to do it. Just didn't want to do it at all. So this is what my face looks like when I'm wearing no makeup. Also, I tried to wear a clever shirt because it's like Pikachu and Mario, so he has like lightning and fire attacks. See how that's shaman-y? I tried, okay? Believe it or not, I actually don't own a shaman shirt, which is a problem. If you play a shaman, let me know in the comment section below what you think of the changes that are happening for shamans, because I play a Resto Shaman and I'm sure excited about Gust of Wind. I don't know, the whole, like, totem that reincarnates people is sort of cool, but then in the same sense, like, I feel like we all know the one guy in our raid who's going to get that every time. Like, it's not going to be this big surprise, and I bet it'll never be, like, a tank or a healer or someone super useful. It's going to be, like, you know, but... yeah, this wraps up the Class Changes series. Hopefully this is up before the patch is, which I think it will be. I think it will be. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm sorry about my energy level. It's been a long week. But this was so worth it. Thank you guys all for watching the videos and thumbing them up and leaving all the nice comments, and thank you in advance for not being mean about my face not having anything on it. That's cool. I'm gonna go. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Have so much fun playing the patch. If you're at San Diego Comic-Con, please say hi to me. I will be there, and I will be I'm definitely I'm moderating the Legion panel, and then I'm definitely going to the Overwatch panel, and then I think on Friday or Saturday I'm gonna do the protest outside where the Jesus people are protesting. You know, when you go to cons and there's Jesus people and they're like, the end is near, repent. I'm I'm gonna go have a sign that says the Legion is near, feel the fell burn. I don't know what's wrong with me. There's a lot wrong with me. It's a problem. I'm gonna go for real this time. I hope you guys are all having a great day and a great weekend, and again, have so much fun playing the patch, which someday I'll get to log on and play. Someday. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.